Hello everyone, I'm Kim and welcome to my sewing room. I hope you're all doing really well and have managed to fit some sewing into your busy weeks. I have actually finished a few things this week, and so I'm going to kickstart my video off with showing you what I'm wearing. So this is a new blouse which I finished this week, and it is the Butterick B5526. Now this pattern, I go back to this pattern quite a lot. It's a favourite pattern of mine, and sometimes when I find I don't know what to make and I'm thinking about things that I would like to make, I will usually make this in between different projects because it just fills the gap and it allows me to sew until I've made my mind up what to make next. So I'll stand up and just go through it because this one's just a little bit different because originally I had 3 meters of this fabric. This fabric is cotton lawn and it came from Stitch Fabrics, and back in February I made the McCall's 7899 from it, and it made a beautiful blouse because this fabric is so nice. And I had 1.4 meters left, but I just wanted to use up that little bit of fabric that I had left, and I wanted to make it up in something that I would wear. I'm not very good with sleeveless tops because I'm of an age now where I prefer to hide the tops of my arms. So with this blouse I decided I would squeeze out, sort of eke out this pattern and just compromise on a few things. So with the 5526, this was version D, but version D has the collar and the collar stand. I didn't have enough fabric for that, so they got omitted, and I just did the mandarin collar. And I also did, for the first time, I did 3/4 length sleeves. Not 100% sure or convinced they're my sort of thing, but I'll stand up so you can see the whole shirt in its entirety, and you can make your mind up whether you like it or not. So here we go. So as you can see, it has the mandarin collar at the top, front placket, top to bottom, buttoned. It has princess seams which run down across the bust through, and I think with princess seams they just give a really nice shape. I mean, I'm quite thick set, as you know, I've got a big bust, I'm quite thick set, I haven't got a thin waist, and with the princess seams I just think it just gives the shirt a little bit more shape, so it therefore gives me a little bit more shape. With that said, we have these 3/4 length sleeves. So they're like normal cuffed sleeves, but they are just cut off mid-arm, and they're quite nice to wear. I did find, first of all, when I started wearing it, I was sort of a little bit pulling it down, but once you get used to them and then sitting on your arm in this position, it was okay. But I do find that I can't do them up. If I do them up, they're quite tight, there's no movement to them, so I've left them open, which is okay because it's summer and it just has a nice sort of relaxed feel about it. And the longer I wear this shirt, the more I'm enjoying this length sleeve, but it has taken a little while to get used to it because I am used to having full length. So that is my new B5526. So this week I have also made a project bag. So last week my daughter was working on a lovely piece of cross stitch, which she does quite frequently, and she does keep her work in project bags. But this piece of work that she was working on, she didn't have a project bag for, and we had this discussion about it, and basically she didn't have a project bag for it, and I looked at the project bags and thought, you know what, I'll have a go at making one. They can't be that difficult. So I visited a few YouTubers and watched their videos, and then once I got in my head how it was constructed, I set about making one, and I'm so pleased with it. It's really nice. So I got Rachel, my daughter, to pick the fabric that she wanted for the project bag, and I made it quite big, and I also made it with a handle. So this is the back. So that's the back where she had picked some Harry Potter fabric, which I had left over from the cavalcade bag that I had made my son's girlfriend in. So she had got a cavalcade bag made in this, and there was a few remnants of this fabric left, so I've used it in the back of this project bag, and I also quilted it. So this has been quilted on low loft fleece, so it's got a bit of pad in there, but it's not too thick, but it works quite nice with this project bag. And I also use some of this Sunshine Bumbleberry fabric, which I also used on both of the cavalcade bags that I made for Danny and Rachel. And I've had some vinyl in my stash, so I put a nice clear vinyl window in. I used the rainbow teethed zipper zip that I had, which I had bought also for a cavalcade bag. So quite a lot of the stuff that I had bought for the cavalcade bags, and not all of it I used up, and also there was still quite a bit of stuff left over from those bags, so I was able to use this up without purchasing anything. So that was quite a bonus. So I had this vinyl in my stash already, and I had some tassels, so I put a little blue tassel on to match the background of that project bag, and also the blue in the Harry Potter Weasley jumper on the back. And I put a lovely little tiny little star charm there. I don't know whether you can see it, it's very small. So that worked out really, really well. So she can fit her project in there without any problem at all. And I was very tempted to make another one, but with the other fabric that she picked, I was going to start making a project bag out of it, but this piece of fabric was nearly 2 meters long, and I thought I didn't really want to cut into it to make just a project bag. So I got thinking about this fabric, and I'll show you it here. So that is that. And I bought this originally for the cavalcade bags, but it never got used, and it was a remnant on offer from the lovely Jobbly site. So I bought it, and it's been in my stash since the making of the bags. And when Rachel saw it, she said she really loved it, and I think her enthusiasm made me think it would be better if I could try and maybe make a shirt out of it for her, something more useful than just a project bag. And if I've got any left, I could also make maybe a smaller project bag, so she could benefit from both. So I've decided, because it's her birthday next week, that I am going to make up this shirt. And because there's not a lot of fabric here, I found a shirt pattern. Let me just find it. I found a shirt pattern, McCall's 7360, and it is version A. So it's a little short sleeved half placket on the front, and it's not cropped, but it's not too long, so it's a nice simple top that would really show the print off. And so this week I have set about tracing the pattern off, so I've managed to trace that off. So when I finish this video today, I'm going to be cracking on with that, because her birthday is coming up quite quickly, and I want to be able to get that finished and presented to her, and I think she will absolutely love it, because she just loves Harry Potter. And if I have enough time and there's any fabric left, I don't know whether there will be or not, I'll also try to squeeze out a smaller project bag for her. So hopefully next week you will see at least one of those planned projects finished. So what else have I been up to this week? Well, also I finished, and I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but I finished another pair of socks. So I finished these, and I did say to you a while back that I wasn't going to knit any more socks because the weather was getting nicer, but it got nicer and then it didn't. But it is starting to definitely warm up, so these will be my last pair of socks until the autumn. And these were made out of a fabric brand. The fabric brand is called Brigo yarn. I'm sure I'm not saying that right. And the colour of these are chameleon, so they are just straightforward vanilla socks. So vanilla socks are just plain socks, but I did put a tiny little design detail in here, just a little picot hole, just to add a little bit of difference, a little design effect of my own. So they've been finished, they'll go in the wash, and then they'll be put away until autumn, when hopefully after our blistering hot summer I have something nice and warm to wear on my feet when it starts to get cold again. There you are, wishful thinking. So what else have I been working on? Well, I have been working on my Dior brooch. So I have made up 7 of the 8 petals. So these are a few of them. So there's 4 of this shape. And they've got a really nice shine to them. And there are 4 of this shape. And I am on the last one. So this is the last one, and I am starting to put the tiny little black beads around the edge. So once that one's finished, I have everything I need to then pull it all together onto the base. Now this is the base, it's a tiny base, and it will all be stitched onto this tiny base, and when it's stitched on, these petals will go around the sides, each of the sides, and in the middle will be the rhinestones that I showed you last week. So I will put the rhinestones in the middle, and then on the back will be the brooch pin. So, you know, I am nearly there. So I reckon if I keep going this week, I will have that finished, and you will be able to see that next week. So I'm quite excited to get that done, because each of these tiny little beads have been sewn on, as you know, by hand, but each one is sewn on, and it's taken some time. But as you progress with these projects where the detail is quite minute, as it builds up, you can see the sort of, it's all coming together, and it feels quite excited now because I can actually see the finish in sight. So also this week I visited my customer who had ordered 4 Alfie Rabbits. So I'd made up the 4 Alfie Rabbits, I'd got them finished, so I put an image of them up. They were beautiful. I absolutely, when I see them, I just smile, because I really had fun making them and making all the clothes and getting them dressed, and that was really, really lovely. And the client absolutely loved them. She was blown away by them, and she did actually ask me to make some more. But I have said to her, I will make some more, but I'm just going to have a bit of a break from them, because I want to do a little bit of summer sewing for myself. So I am going to cover that in a moment. But last week I also showed you this little rabbit. So she was well, she used to be Daisy's friend. So she is Daisy's friend, and Daisy, if you can see her, part of her, she's sitting up on my shelf here. I'll get her down actually so you can see her better. So this is Daisy, and I had promised to make her a friend, so I've made her a friend, and they've been sitting chatting away on the shelf, quite content, and Daisy's really happy now because she has a friend. Poor thing, she must be sweltering in this coat. So Daisy has lent this dress to her new friend. So this was Daisy's dress, and I said that I was going to dress this little rabbit later in the year, because she is a she rabbit rather than the 4 Alfie rabbits that I made for my clients. So I'm going to make her some girly clothes. So I have put Daisy down. So I've finished her nose. So I put her nose on, and she actually has her little tail on now. So she's got her little pom-pom tail. And I asked all of you whether you would send in your ideas for names for her, because she hasn't been named, and you did. You all, quite a few of you responded with various names, and I made a list. So we've got a list of Donna, Doris, Darcy, Lupin, Maisie, Asta, Daphne, Buttercup or Clover. So what I've done is I have written those all out, and I put them in a little bowl here, and I'm just going to do just select from them, and then our little girl rabbit will be named. So let me just, ooh, good start. Right, so here we go. Put my hand over top, just give them a good shake. So she will be called Doris. So Daisy and Doris. Oh, that's lovely. I think that goes really well. So I am going to put Daisy and Doris back on their shelf, and they can sit happily chatting away and keeping each other company, and I would just keep looking at them, and they will keep making me smile. So that is Daisy and Doris. So I thank you all for joining in the fun of naming our little rabbit. So sewing plans going forward. So as you know, I'm going to make the shirt for Rachel's birthday. But because the weather is starting to definitely pick up and get warmer, I have been thinking about making a dress. So this week I went through all of my patterns and I picked a few out, and it also gave me an opportunity to go through some of my patterns in their entirety and do a little bit of culling. So I've thinned them out a bit, and I had a habit years ago where when I used to buy patterns, I used to cut them, I used to cut into the pattern directly, and I have found that some of those patterns that I have cut into aren't cut at the right size. So I have decided to, I've put them aside. I have a sewing friend, and she's a little bit smaller than me, so I think they will work with her quite well. So I'll just let her decide whether she wants them or not. So I have room, so I have made quite a bit of space in my pattern storage space. So I've been through some of the dress patterns and I'm not really 100% sure which dress pattern to make. I did wonder whether I would make the Marnie, and because I made that lovely Marnie blouse last week and I was so pleased with it that and because I'd got the measurements right for me, I decided that, you know, it would also make a really nice dress. So I'm debating whether to make a Marnie dress or make something completely new. So I do have a few dress patterns, so I'm still deciding what to make. So I'm hoping that you will see a dress appear at some stage over the next couple of weeks. I used to wear dresses all the time, but I seem to have fallen into a uniform of wearing shirts and trousers, and ironically I don't even own a pair of jeans. I mean, and I did wonder whether I would make a pair of jeans, but I think that's autumn time. I'd probably do that later in the year. So there's lots going around in my head, and I do find this, that when I finish projects, because obviously finishing all of the rabbits, which took up quite a bit of my time, and then I'm making this shirt because I didn't know what to make. Now I've got to make a decision, and I think I take my time, because I know whatever I make next, if it's new, I have to go through the process of doing all the sizing. I might do a twirl, I trace off the pattern. It's quite a lengthy process, and sometimes I am one of the best procrastinators in the world, because I'll put things off and put things off, and I know I just have to get on with it. And once I do, that process will move along quite quickly. And even now talking about it, I'm waffling on because my head is just whirling with ideas. So at this point, I'm just going to concentrate on getting Rachel's shirt done, and I will get that finished. And then whilst I'm making that up, I will also make a decision what I'm going to make next. So I think today that is it. So if you have enjoyed the content of my video and you haven't subscribed, it'd be lovely if you could become one of my subscribers. And if you are one of my subscribers, have a fabulous week, and I hope you all get some sewing in, and I will see you all very soon. Take care. Bye.